Alright, well, I wanted to do a live stream because I never do them. Not hardly anybody here. It's not really something I enjoy doing, live streams. I do enjoy making videos and kind of getting to meet people and talk about stuff, but live streams is normally not my go-to. Hey, how's it going? Wanted to talk a little bit about our impending doom pretty much tonight. Kind of waiting for some people to show up before we start talking here. You doing all right tonight, Alias? So I guess I'll go ahead and start talking here. There's probably not too many people here yet, but so I'm just curious on everybody's opinion. I figured having a live stream would be the best way that we could talk. Hey JT, how's it going? I'm just curious everybody else's opinion on where we're headed as a country, well, as a world really. You know, I make a lot of videos on here about certain things like WorldCoin, FedNow lately, and I really foresee these things just completely taking over here eventually. And I'm just curious everybody's opinion on that. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. But pretty much the dollar is collapsing at this point. The economy is in horrible shape. Inflation is sky high. And there's really no way we can bounce back with the dollar like we're used to. At this point, we're just way too far gone. So eventually that's going to collapse, and we'll be pretty much forced at that point to accept our fate of a CBDC or a WorldCoin or whatever it may be at the time. And I'm just really curious how many people out there, yeah, it's coming. I'm really curious out there how many people think that they can deal with the impending doom that we have in store for us. Because like I've said in all my videos recently, and I'm going to continue to say it, and if I lose subscribers, that's fine. But this is a biblical fight that we're in right now. It honestly is. And if you can't see that, you really need to look. I mean, even if you don't believe in God, this is more for people on that note that don't. You know, I've been through lots of trials and tribulations in my life. I've not always been a good person. There's been times in my life when I've damned God and things. But I can assure you that something has always brought me back, and that's the Lord. Yeah, that's right. You have to have the Father to get you through it. This is a spiritual battle for sure. Yeah, the Bible tells a lot if you're willing to read it, and I'm not gonna lie, I don't understand a lot of it. But along with that, I like to study the enemy as well. The more you know about your enemy, the better off you're gonna be. And in this case, it's Lucifer, Satan, the devil, whatever you want to call him. It all leads back to the same fallen angel. And our modern culture that we're in today is just full of satanic stuff. That's what really gets me, that I myself at one time, you know, I don't know whether I never believed in God, but I fought with him, so to speak. But I don't know how people nowadays, you know, I came to the Lord a long time before this, and with just all the blatant Satanism and stuff you see in the world right now, on TV, in the schools, the news, everything, I don't see how people can't see it at this point. I honestly don't. And you know, talking about the enemy, knowing the enemy, I like to learn things about that as well. I like to learn about what Satanism is about and things like that. Trust me, I don't dive too deep into it, but I'm curious of what exactly these people think. Yeah, imitating Jesus. And it is so in bed with our culture right now. I mean, most people have no idea. This goes back hundreds of years. You know, even back when the Pope, let's see, amen. Even when the Pope changed, the Sabbath to Sunday, most people don't realize, and maybe it's a big thing or not a big thing, but, it all leads back to paganism. And the more you know about stuff like that, the better off you're going to be to see the signs. And even Satanism. I mean, there's Anton LaVey wrote, there's greater magic and lesser magic. Well, in a nutshell, greater magic is the rituals and stuff you see, like the Super Bowl, a Beyonce video probably. I mean, it's all in our culture everywhere. And that's ritual magic. But then the lesser magic is more of an enchanting thing. It's sort of the seductress. It's using manipulation tactics. It's psychological. And I think most people fail to see it every day in our everyday life. I mean, it's embedded in from what we eat, what we buy, clothing, movies. I mean, you name it. And it's only becoming more prevalent as time goes by. And I honestly hope some people wake up to that. They think it's just kind of some showmanship, I guess, but they're mocking God. They're mocking the Lord every time they do these rituals and things on TV. Every time they sway you a certain way with your lusts and your desires, it's all satanic. It really is. And I just wish that the masses could wake up and see that, because this is a spiritual battle. And on the, I guess, the lightest note of prepping, it's very important to have food and water and things, just your necessities and stuff in life, if you're going to make it by. But that's only in the beginning. Yeah, hit the thumbs up. I'd appreciate it. But that's only in the beginning, that the food and the water and the supplies and the knowledge is going to get you by. Because with that being said, of it being a spiritual battle, people that have the faith are going to have to realize that, and I'm not stomping on anybody's beliefs here, but whether you believe the rapture is going to happen before tribulation or whatever, if it doesn't, it's probably better for you to be prepared to make it through the beginning. But let's face it, if you're still here when all of this comes to fruition, there's going to be lots of choices and things you're going to have to make. There's going to be a lot of sacrifice. There's going to be, I mean, not to put this gruesomely, but are you willing to be hung? Are you willing to be decapitated? Are you willing to be quartered, or whatever it may be for your faith? Is that deep embedded in you? Are you that faithful to the Lord? I mean, I think I am, but I think most modern day Christians, people that just go to church on Sunday and think, oh, this will get me into heaven, I'm just a good person, and that I go to church on Sunday, I ask for forgiveness, and everything's going to be all right, whenever they're not trying to lead their best life. And I'm not trying to condemn anybody. I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm a sinner. I have a very sinful background. There's parts of me that I still don't like, that I want to change. But I try, and I know the Lord is there with me, and I know that He's always listening, and He's always guiding me. It's just the simple fact of, are you paying attention where He's guiding you to? 3.5 year mark, yeah. Sorry, I'm like holding my phone for this live stream, so it's probably not the best quality. Sorry about that. I honestly think, at some point, no matter where you're at with this battle, is going to be having to leave where you live. And not that I don't encourage people to own their own home and store food up and be prepared to survive on your own. Yeah, complacency. Yeah, prayer is where it's at, really, especially now. The power of prayer is amazing, and I honestly didn't always believe that. But as time goes on, the more I pray, the more I can hear the Lord guiding me and talking to me and telling me what I should or shouldn't be doing. And like prepping food and stuff. Sorry, these flies are getting to me here. Prepping food and stuff is just the beginning. That's true. Amen. But I at least try, and I wish other people would. I think a lot of people are false believers. I think they talk a big game, but at the end of the day, it's whatever they think they can hide from whoever, their friends, their spouse, their family, and just give the appearance that they have it all together. But I can foresee the future ahead. I mean, with the dollar collapsing, inflation sky high, we're at the brink of war. It's not really looking up. It's not like things are just going to turn around. And at the point of that we are now financially with this country, we'll never pay back our debt. So the only thing that can happen at this point is that we're going to get a CBDC, and it'll probably be all hunky-dory in the beginning. They're not going to roll out everything right off the bat, but eventually the government's going to have full control on it, everything you say and everything you do, and me as well. And I just hope everybody's prepared to cross that bridge when we get there. Yeah, I've had a few close calls with death in my life, and the Lord always picked me back up. At one time, without going too privately into detail, but I spent a couple months in a hospital, and when I got out, I was pretty much a skeleton. I was, from where I'm at now, probably 70 pounds lighter. You could see my ribs. They told me I'd never lift over 5 or 10 pounds, and that I should be on Social Security, which I tried to do when I got out of the hospital. This was years ago, and they told me I was going to have to wait for a couple years. I don't see how I can feed myself like that. But after that, I decided they weren't going to tell me what I could or couldn't do, and with the power of God behind me, I was able to change all that. I started working out a lot. I started boxing, started doing amateur boxing, really getting in shape. And they said I would never be able to lift over 10 pounds. So that just goes to show you that you can always change anything in your life if you actually believe. You can actually move mountains. I truly believe that in my heart. But yeah, I feel like we're headed down a bad path. I know I kind of got off on this video, and that's where it gets hard as a creator, making videos and doing live streams and stuff, because there's a lot of things I have in my head. There's a lot of things I want to say, but I've never been really good at verbalizing those things. So that's why it's kind of easier to make videos. I can kind of get my thoughts together, kind of put it in a video, put it out there, and hope that people see it. But I realize with the algorithms and things the way they are, and plus I like to interact with people on here. I've made a lot of friends on here over the last year and a half or so, and it's good to communicate with you guys, and it's probably good for the algorithm at this point. So, but yeah, all I can say is we got to keep prepping. We definitely got to keep praying. Prayer is very important at this point, but we got to start getting ready for this initial shock wave that's headed toward us. It's basically inevitable at this point. So I hope everybody's stockpiling food, being able to have fresh, clean water, being able to protect your family with all the things that come along with that. because things are really coming to a head, and I hope people see the horizon and they see what's coming, because you're kind of getting at the point now, if you're not preparing and you're not getting things together, you're going to be in a world of hurt. And I do realize at some point the mobs and everybody are going to start coming, and you got to be prepared for that too. And even though I'm a very God-fearing man, I'm here to protect my family. I appreciate that. I really appreciate that. Time willing, I try to make as many videos as I can, but it's hard to do sometimes. Right now I work pretty much 60 hours a week every week. I'm push mowing an entire 1.5 acres, trying to keep this little above ground pool I got going for the kids, keep them occupied, and be dad and all that, and a husband. So it's hard to come up with time. And along with making videos, a lot of times there's a lot of research and things that go into it as well. And I'm not one of these creators that just want to hop on and just blabber anything and everything. It's hard for me to promise that I'm going to be on here every day or 4 times a week or whatever it may be, because I'm not just going to randomly get on here, do a live or make a video if I don't really have my thoughts together and something important to say. But I think everybody at this point should be prepping up, and they should really be paying attention to what's going on with the digital age, with everything from money to well, robots and AI and everything now. I think there's probably a lot more to it than they're not telling us. And it just amazes me how we can't protect our, we can't protect our accounts and things from hacks and everything now. So let's get rid of the one solid thing we have, like cash, and go to nothing but digital. And as well, along with that, having a faulty grid that could go down any day. It just amazes me that that's what they want us to go to. I mean, that's just ridiculous. It makes no sense. All right, well, I've been on here about 18 minutes now. I gotta go take care of the homestead, feed the chickens and stuff, spend a little time with my kids and wife. God bless y'all. I hope you have a good night. Thanks for everybody that hopped on here and spent some time with me. I really appreciate each and every one of you. Have a good night.